Hey, I'm Nick Williams with Medicare Millionaire. Today I'm at the whiteboard and I'm going to show you how to sell hospital indemnity insurance. I'm going to tell you the problem that it solves. I'm going to tell you how to transition to this product, the hospital indemnity, and I'm going to tell you how to present it and close this product. So the important thing is that transition. You want a smooth transition. The close is normally very easy. So let me get on the board here. And first of all, we're going to use Aetna, actual numbers from an Aetna program to illustrate the problem. And let's start right there. So the problem is that this plan that I'm discussing with my client, and we got problem and solution. Okay. The problem is that this has a $5,900 maximum out of pocket. And the client wants to know, how do I reach that number? Because I don't want that to happen. I tell them, well, if you go in the hospital a couple times, you're going to find out. So, and I'll say it like this. I'll say, well, this particular plan, I may write this out first, or I may just tell them it's got a $340 daily copay at the hospital. I always want to illustrate this, and I say I may tell them, or I may write it out. Actually, you want to illustrate it, you want to write it out. So, and that's for 5 days. That's a total of $1,700. Now, it's very likely that's preceded by an ambulance ride that will cost you $250. So you're looking at $1,950 out of pocket for if you go to the hospital for a week. And you're getting older, there's a fair chance that may happen at some point in time. That's a lot of money. So the question is do you have that, can you write that check today? And a lot of people just simply don't have this. The average American does not have money to just write checks for several $1,000s, especially a retiree on limited income. So that's a problem. All right. Now, so again, the maximum out of pocket is $5,900. Well, how does that happen to me? Because I don't want that to happen. I tell them, I say, well, there's a daily copay for the hospital, which one hospital stay and just a copay would be $1,700, and the ambulance ride to the hospital is $250 for a total of $1,950. There's a little plan that will pay that, and it costs like $30, $35 a month. And that's almost the close right there, because they'll say, really? And when they say that, I know I got them. If they say, oh, tell me about that. Or they may just, kind of give you like the nod, like, okay, and I'm just going to proceed. Now, so we're getting to the solution. And the solution is, again, and we're using GTL, which is, for me, this has been the bread and butter hospital indemnity product over the years. I was selling this product 10 years ago, and I could still sell it today, and it's got good benefits. I'll tell you why. Now, there are some other competitors, but I believe that this should be your go-to. Again, there are other competitors in your geographic area. The other competitors may be better. Okay, so how does this work? Well, the GTL they have benefit options, and one of those options, which matches up to the 5-day $340 option, is GTL's $350 daily benefit for 6 days. So that would be, let me write that out for you, 6 days. So GTL pays a benefit for 6 days versus the 5 days that Aetna charges. So you're actually, if you stay in the hospital for a week, you're going to come out of the hospital with money. Now, they also have a rider on the plan that pays $250 for the ambulance. So you basically, if you go in the hospital, you're basically going to come out with money in your pocket. So you can calculate the $350 times 6 days and put that down and do a side-by-side if you so desire. But the bottom line is that you're going to pay that. This is going to cover, this is the solution to this problem. And this is going to cost you. So here you could go, GTL has a nice little app. Medico is another product that's in this arena, and Heartland's in this arena as well. But I've used Medico a fair amount. They got a nice little app as well. GTL has, again, it's an iPad app, and I do carry my iPad with me, and that's how I write people up on this product. So I do not use the paper app for the Hospital Indemnity because the automated system is so simple. Okay, what does this cost? Well, the monthly premium for this plan, $350 for 6 days and a $250 hospital rider, which again eliminates this $1,950, is $35.23. So it's $35.23. What I'm going to do at that point is I'm going to multiply that by 12, which brings me to $422. $422, I think 76 cents. If I divide, so that's my annual cost. And I want to show them this annual cost. You normally perhaps would not do that. And the reason I do it is I say, this is a good consumer purchase. Let me show you why. Remember, your cost for a week in the hospital is $1,950. That's your cost for 1 week in the hospital. If you divide the $422 into the $1,950, it comes out to, it's like 4.57 years, 577, something like that. These numbers aren't important, of course, but I want to illustrate this. It's 4.5 years. So one hospital stay in the next 4.5 years, one hospital stay of a week is going to be a break even for this plan. So there's a fair chance that a senior, somebody that's older, is going to have a trip to the hospital. What this ensures is for $35.23 per month that you never get hit with this bill. Again, this disappears. And so, again, I'm dividing the $1,950 by the $422. And that's going to give me the number of years that I can make this payment that would equate to one hospital stay. One hospital stay. So, one hospital stay. Now, if you go to the hospital 2 times, then of course, the second visit is all profit. I don't really say that, although I may have. But again, there's a fair chance you're going to go in the hospital once in the next 4.5 years. Would you agree with that? That's what I'll ask them. And they'll say, well, yes, probably. Well, and if you did, you don't want to get hit with this big $1,950, correct? Well, no. Okay. Then I'm not going to ask them, do you want this? I want to say, I'm just going to get a little information from you. I do this with my iPad, I tell them. So I'm just going to punch this information here. I use the iPad because they can do that finger signature, and I like that. So that works well. Now, that's it. The key is the transition. Yes, it's $5,900 maximum out of pocket. And how do you get there? Well, one way is to spend a week in the hospital. So that's going to be several $1,000s. Can you write a check for that today? Do you think you'll be able to write a check for that next year, or the year after, or the year after? Well, if not, here's the solution. And I always tell them it's only like $30, $35 a month. Because for somebody age 65, that's what this costs. It's $35.23. This is for, that's an important point, a 65-year-old male. So annual cost, $422.76. I divide that into 1,950. I get 4.5 years. So I say if you use this one time in the next 4.5 years, it pays for itself. So if you think about it, 2 times over the next 9 years, that puts you at age 75 almost. A couple trips to the hospital between now and age 75, things will change over that time. And it may be that they have neither this health plan nor this Medicare, this hospital indemnity plan, but it makes sense. It's a good consumer purchase. And I tell them that. It's a good consumer purchase. Okay, what other points do I want to make on this? Oh, observation. One of the reasons I say GTL is good, and let me tell you, you've got to check for your state, your plan in your state. GTL covers observation in every state. So now when I present this to people, I say, okay, inside this brochure, there's hospital confinement, there's mental health benefits, there's lump sum cancer, skilled nursing. I'll read that like that and I'll say, but we're only interested in the hospital confinement and this little ambulance benefit rider. And that tells them I'm not trying to sell them a whole bunch of junk. I'm only focusing on this one item or 2 items. Observation stays are covered. I had somebody in a plan a handful of years ago, and they were in the hospital. You can spend 2 days in the hospital and not be admitted. So, and this is what you have to make sure, is that if you're using a different plan, that the hospital stay is covered. It must be covered, because those clients will be mad at you. I had a daughter call me, and no matter what I told her, because the plan I sold at that time, it did not cover hospital stays. So no matter what I said, okay, I just said it doesn't cover hospital stays. It did not cover hospital stays for observation. And what they'll do is they'll admit you to the hospital and keep you there under observation for multiple days, up to multiple days. And you won't be discharged. They'll just say, okay, goodbye. You won't be discharged because you were never admitted. And again, the client, you can't rationalize that with the client, because they'll come out, they've been in the hospital for several days under observation, they want to file the claim, they want to get their money, the plan will not pay, some plans will not pay the money, GTL will, they will pay that benefit, and then everything will be fine if they pay it. But if they don't pay it, that person's going to be mad, and you won't be able to reason with them, well, that really wasn't a hospital stay. They'll be like, BS. It was a hospital bed. I was in a hospital bed for 2 days. So, and I remember that one situation that happened to me. They basically would not talk to me ever again. They basically disowned me as their agent. What do you expect? And I tried to explain it to them, but the daughter wouldn't really speak to me, but just from a distance, she just kind of, let me have it. Now, what do you make on this? It's $422. Let's kind of go to a different section here. It's $422. Typically, you're at 50% or better commission. So that's $211 commission. So that's $211. I don't know if that's clear. It's money. Let's write it in green. $211. Yes, $211. That's not bad. You're just, and the renewals, I'm not sure. 10%, 7%, 10%. I think it's 10%. I guess it's a luxury not to worry about all those little numbers, but they do add up. And I get a good check from GTL every single month. And I get a Medico check every single month, and they add up. You can add this. I know agents. I have one agent I recruited. He and I are good friends. We've been friends well before to this business. He's extremely good at this. He's better at it than I am, and it really burns me up. He sells an indemnity plan on the hospital indemnity plan, I should say, on almost every Medicare Advantage sale he makes. And he works by referrals because he's got a nest. It was just an incredible nest. But I mean, God bless him. He just kills it. He just kills it with this hospital indemnity. And that's not bad money. So when you're out there, again, Medicare, final expense, indemnity, and annuity. And let me explain that. Medicare, of course we want to sell Medicare first because we're going to get the renewals year after year after year. Final expense is second because if we sell a supplemental plan, if we transition away from Medicare and sell another plan, a different type of insurance, that final expense is going to probably pay us $600, $700, $800, $900. At least $600 on the low end. The indemnity is third because it's an easy sale. Again, if I'm going to allot dollars to final expense before I allot them to indemnity, unless the person just needs the indemnity. And then the fourth is the annuity. Glad that you're here. We're going to do a lot of these presentations and training, and some of them are going to be live coming up soon. So stay focused on Medicare Millionaire. You're going to see them coming up within the next week or so. It's going to be a lot of this type of training. And we're going to end this video right here. Talk to you later.